And
your hair's looking good.
yeah. Okay, so here we go. You ready?
Go.
Welcome to the Dave Darren Show. The tremendous Billy Stokes is on the show today. Billy, how's it going, man?
Going real good.
Good to see you. Let me shake your hand.
Good to be here.
Let me hug you.
The
Rock
hug?
stars hug people, right?
It's a man hug.
Even though we're all sweaty, we're both sweaty down here.
Man
No
hug.
fans running, we're all sweaty.
A little bromance going on here already.
So tell me about what you're in town here in Phoenix. What are you doing in Phoenix, brother?
Well, I am in Phoenix to promote this album. It's called Muscle and Blood.
Let's show that. You talk about it, I'll show it.
Okay, it's an album that was conceived and written sort of, after leaving the United States Army under some bad conditions, that is, of serious injury. First 5 people to call and get a free shirt. Hey,
Oh, look at this. Merch.
and a CD. We got to go down the merch highway. Not to block you out too much, but there you have it. It's just actually just a cover of the album. Billy Stokes, Muscle and Blood, right there.
There we go.
Get yourself a free CD and a free shirt. Just tell us your size.
These look good on women too, right?
They do. They're
Now-
particularly good on women, especially if it's the only thing they're wearing. That helps.
You're right. And also, if it's a woman and she's given her size, please give out a size smaller than you actually are.
True.
Okay.
Okay. Very true. Very true.
And we'll pre-wet it for them too before we
Right.
ship it,
Yeah,
right?
everything
Keep it
about-
moist. Keep it moist. Keep it small. That's why I married a Japanese. She kept the vagina small and moist.
Okay.
BillyStokes.com to pick up the CD. We'll flash it one more time.
Amazon, iTunes, Billy
And-
Stokes, Muscle and Blood.
Very cool, Billy.
You sound like an unbelievable douche.
Do you know the Dave Darren Show?
Hot enough to boil a monkey's bum.
Most people say, who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Like Disneyland, I'm the happiest fucking guy on earth.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Are you a puffed up?
He used to be on terrestrial radio, but he got fired.
I'll spit.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Here comes the boss fella now.
Dave Darren.
After leaving the United States Army under some bad conditions, that is, of serious injury that required a lot of hospitalization and veterans hospitals and Army hospitals, and when all the dust settled from that sort of circumstance, a couple of years went by, and I picked up the guitar again. Actually, my younger brother bought me a $200 Samick and sort of insisted.
I know Samick. I've got a
Samick.
Samick guitar
You
as
got a
well. They
Samick?
make pianos
They
as
make
well.
a lot of guitars.
They do.
We could have a whole separate
And they
show
sound
on
sweet.
guitars.
You know that?
Well, hey, they make a lot of name guitars. You're not supposed to know that, but I think the factories, create, lots of guitars for some of the bigger names. Maybe Epiphone
Okay.
and some of the
Oh, that I
guitars.
didn't know. I didn't know the
Probably
history.
some of the guitars you see sitting in the the big commercial guitar shops.
So you got a guitar. You got an axe.
Got a guitar and started playing again, sort of rekindling what had been my passion prior to the Army, which was, music all through the 70s, 80s came along, I got disillusioned, I thought, man, this isn't the rock and roll road I want to travel on, so things were getting kind of crazy.
Was it like punk then, right? Is
It
that
was
what happened?
Punk,
or-
we're looking at a lot of the heavy keys coming in, the hairstyles changing, emphasis being placed on the keyboards, really. And I think the British bands were very influential, and there was a lot of good music. There was a lot of good, music coming from that era, from the 80s. But being a creature of habit like most of us are, I was really a child of the heyday of the big guitar music, and some of those guitar players are on this album that we'll
Cool.
talk about.
Like we're talking about who are some of the players?
Frank Marino was a legendary rock guitarist who was really kind of at the pinnacle of the 70s big rock guitar stuff. And he's well known for the Cal Jam 2 and arena rock, like you'd think about. So yeah.
Is that
Long
AOR,
history.
Arena Oriented Rock? Is that what AOR stands for? I heard it
no
was
idea.
adult-oriented rock, but
Adult.
arena-oriented rock as well. So the
Arena-oriented.
letters are popular in the British countries. They use that a
Okay.
lot. So there you go.
Shows what I
Little
know.
history.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, these are the guitar players that really came to the forefront by virtue of their talent and their commitment to the instrument of sorts. So Frank Marino is definitely one of my heroes, and he's sort of known for his music sort of being in the vein of the Hendrix sound, which is the big blues bass rock and roll that you've heard from Jimi Hendrix. And so having him on this album was just I can't say enough about how exciting it is for me
Yeah, of course.
to incorporate him into the creation of this
And
album.
exciting to have you on with it too. So the
Well,
collaboration is exciting, right?
Well, his contribution to this record was really the one true collaboration, in that we sent the song out in its entirety through the studio with all the files. He had access to all facets of this recording, this particular song, which is called The Beast.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe we should play it now.
Let's play
Let's
The
play it.
Beast.
Let's have everyone hear the first
Let's
introduction
play
of the
it.
show here.
Yeah.
The players on this, The Beast, are
Frank Marino, myself, Barry Sparks. You might know him from Yngwie Malmsteen, Michael Schenker, Ted Nugent, UFO. He's in the Bees, Japan's biggest band ever. We have Richard Katz. He's a session player out of Tucson, keyboards. Jim Pavette, I have to say, I have to really give him props for producing this album and playing drums.
Wow,
He played the
cool.
drums on it. So he owns the studio, he's in production, and he's a drummer.
cool. This is The
So
Beast.
This
the
is
Dave
The
Darren Show.
Beast.
Here we
This is
go.
The Beast, a song about PTSD.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's the dude I had to tell his best friend, and the guy that was with him, I'm like, he came in to get him looking for him. I had to take him and be like, hey, he's dead. He's dead, you didn't know that?
Miles from my home,
Welcome back. We're interviewing here Billy Stokes on the Dave Darren Show. Talking a lot about music now. Give me the history of yourself. When you first picked up that instrument, what were you playing? You were doing probably covers of some type. Everyone starts off with covers before they start with the original stuff, right?
Right.
You obviously did that. Who were you warming up the chops to? Who were you doing?
Okay, my biggest memory is the song Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones.
Uh-huh.
And I was 11, maybe 12. Pops bought me a little Fender tube amp, and I learned how to make a bar chord eventually. And so that song Brown Sugar is a series of ascending and descending bar chord sort of play, if you will. And it's a song that, you know, you can just, you know, it's hypnotic. You can just play it and play and play it. So that's when I was really bit by the bug, was learning how to play Brown Sugar.
Okay, then from that time frame, how long before the original music gets into your head?
Well, you know what? You know, the years tick by. It's high school, cover bands. You know, you're doing everything guitar players do as they evolve. And at some point, it dawned on me that you know, there's more to it than just learning a ZZ Top song. You know, it dawned on me that this is really an art form, and you could, you know, argue it's one of the fine arts. You know, you got sculpture, writing, painting. So I really started to get interested in the deeper questions about artisanship. Why is it what it is, and why is music so compelling? You know, why does it elicit the type of response it does in people?
Sure.
You know, why is it so magical? And so that's when I started thinking in terms of making your own stuff. You know, your own. Some people make their own beer or make their own ice cream. You know, spaghetti sauce.
Right. Now, the first piece of music you wrote, have you revisited it in the future and brought it into modern times? Have you dabbled with it?
Yes. One of the first songs that I made a serious attempt at songwriting is a song called Fort Stockton Boogie. And I had recorded it on a deck, one of these standalone digital recording machines, and started to learn all about the concept of recording, tracking, dubbing, overdubbing, etc. And so for this album, you know, I went back and looked at some of these first forays into songwriting and fixated on that song and decided that would be a great song to bring to these pro players.
Gotcha.
And see what, you know, is there something really there, you know, that that could hang their hats on. And the name of that song is Fort Stockton Boogie. The star of that show is Les Dudek, and he's just a phenomenal talent. Has a long history with a lot of artists, Steve Miller, Boz Scaggs. If you've ever heard Allman Brothers, Ramblin' Man, well, that's him playing the slide on that song.
Wow, tremendous.
So how iconic is that?
Absolutely. Is that available? Can we play that?
We absolutely can.
Let's play that song now. What is it called again?
It's called Fort Stockton Boogie.
Written by you.
Written by me.
Awesome. Let's play that track right now. Here we go.
Night and he got me waiting on the line. Friday night I gotta hear that pick and it's mine. Last thing I heard was the boss man talking his shit. Boots on my feet and I start speed walking, that's it. I know what you're thinking. Say the band's real tight. Just what we need on a Friday night. Come on, little darling, let's have a good time. Don't you know, honey, you're a friend of mine. I know
playing out. Turn me on, baby, when we twist and shout. Show you a little something when we both get home. Play a little something when I get you alone. Johnny with a ditty called the Black Cat Moan.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, safe weekend here, man. We enjoyed playing for you tonight. Let's do that. Thank you so much. Thanks for being crackers out there, y'all. All right, then. All right.
Okay, still rapping here with Billy Stokes on the Dave Darren Show. Tell me about how did all these major players come into your life?
Well, it's interesting, you know, when you set out to do something, it's, you know, it starts as something you conceptualize in your brain. And, you know, in this case, it started with making the commitment to actually do a big project. That is, hire people in a commercial studio and to have the budget necessary to seek the best players one could, and take your art, you know, a little bit more serious in that respect. So it started with Barry Sparks, is the bass player throughout this album. And he's a professional. He's an extremely talented bass player and guitar player. And so through Jim Pavette, the studio owner and producer, he was able to get a hold of Barry and to get the time we needed to do the recording. So I think to answer your question, you know, when Barry came in and I saw what it means to be in the presence of someone who's a professional, in the real sense of the word, I realized that this is a collaborative thing, making music. You can do it by yourself with an acoustic guitar or harmonica or something, but realistically, it really is the culmination of, you need other people. And you know, with that mindset, I thought, well, let's get some other people that I would consider to be highly talented. So I started reaching out. You know, and on the internet primarily.
Oh, how about that? Okay.
So Facebook, and so you know, we tracked the basic tracks for the album, and I set about the task of looking for a singer. Who are we going to have sing this work? And through Barry, we had chosen a guy named David Van Landen, who is Michael Schenker was a singer with the Michael Schenker Group and others, a well-known, respected singer. And so we sent the material to him, and I'm not sure if he had listened to it or decided to come into the project, but he was tragically killed shortly thereafter in a car crash in Florida. So
was there material of him already mastered, recorded?
No, actually
partially?
what we had done, as far as I know, is we had sent the material to him. I don't know if we sent all the material, but we had sent it to him in hopes that he would listen to it and it'd be something he'd want to be a part of.
Right.
But
to your knowledge, you didn't work on any of it at all, or send any material back.
I really don't know.
Yeah. Would you have included that, or tried to master that in to get the final word of him, the vocal singing words?
That's an interesting. It's an interesting question, but honestly, that circumstance affected me pretty deeply because the way I work is, and I hadn't written all the songs for this album yet, but the way I work is when I hear a singer, I really let that percolate in there and try to craft music, being aware of the singer and the nuances of each singer.
Right.
And so I really had been listening to him and listening to his past work and looking at him on Facebook and kind of getting to know him through internet.
Right. Now the singer on this collaborative effort is
Mark Storazzi.
Okay, now did you have to vary it because you went from one singer perspective to another? Now I remember you said you didn't have all the music written yet. Now what did you do? How did you adjust?
Well, the songs that were written were, the real thrust of this album. The fact that 16 songs went on the album sort of was a decision that came a little bit later. So, what's interesting is Mark Storazzi, you might know him from the band Crocus, and the Swiss giant Crocus, has a real unique voice. And so it's an interesting question, what would a body of work sound like with other singers? It could be dramatically different.
Oh, I'm sure, absolutely.
But so that sort of circumstance with David Van Landing was certainly a tragedy, but what it did is it gave a little pause to the whole project and gave me time to think these questions through a little bit more. And who knows, if he would have contributed to the work, certainly I'd be honored, and I probably would try to have it listened to by somebody.
We ride, we race, we hide.
By the way, is this album available now on iTunes, or
Yes,
how do you
it
pick
is.
this up?
iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, BillyStokes.com.
Okay. Title of the album is?
Muscle and Blood.
Okay.
Muscle and Blood.
Cool. How did you come up with is there a song here, Muscle and Blood?
No.
Well, I noticed that
No.
there wasn't, right? So you wrote the title of the album doesn't have a track signature to it.
Well, so you
Which
just,
is not usual, right?
Right. Well, you just touched on a whole other conversation about this album. Since, I'm no spring chicken, there is a lot of references throughout this album to musicians that have influenced me throughout my life.
Okay.
And so if we went through the album, I could show you song by song, or you could draw a line from some of the lyrics or guitar sounds. But
Give me a major line that
but-
throughout. Oh, go ahead.
The song Muscle and Blood is actually a song from the Hughes Thrall album, which is Glenn Hughes, the bass player, and Pat Thrall, who's a guitar player. So I kind of lifted the title off that album. So it's a song on another
okay.
album.
Yeah,
is
okay,
what it
why
is.
not?
So
Okay.
I just love the song Muscle and Blood,
Uh-huh.
and I just love it as a working title.
Okay. Now, you did mention throughout your career there were maybe changes. You just mentioned some of the influences. Can you give me an influence that changed you in a certain direction? Can you think back and when you started, you mentioned Rolling Stones. Carrying that through, was there anything that changed you in a certain direction?
Well, the first one would be Pat Travers.
Okay.
So Pat Travers really was a type of music that I related to deeply, And so Pat Travers was probably the one guitarist throughout the late 70s into the 80s that I listened to that probably influenced me the most.
And he's on this.
He is on the album for 2 songs.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's play. Let me shut my cell phone off. How rude. Okay, I shut the cell phone off. I think that was my hooker for tonight. So okay. I think they
Where's
just had
mine,
in
man?
Arizona. They just had picked up some hookers, didn't they?
There's
So-
some out there on the street, bro. If you
There are,
go around
okay.
the corner.
So during the break, you guys will know what I'm doing, okay? But so, which songs is he on this particular
Okay.
album?
Pat Travers is on Money Slave, song number 6. He is also on Firestorm, which is another song with the military sort of theme running throughout it.
Should we do that one?
Let's do Firestorm.
Okay. What's the aspect you mentioned the military behind it?
Well,
Give me a little bit about this and then we'll play it.
Firestorm was written very specifically about my mother and father-in-law, who are from eastern Ukraine. So prior to writing this song, they were being attacked by the Russians. They were launching rockets at their city, indiscriminate 120 millimeter rocket attack that was, blowing up innocents.
Right.
So we flew them out here to Arizona pretty quickly. And so the opening lyrics of Firestorm go, you were caught in a firestorm, one that you couldn't ignore. Death and destruction was brought to your door. And so it starts from there, and it's kind of self-explanatory, this sort of expression.
So let's play that. And it's funny because the Russians are still involved. They're in our elections right now. They're influencing our elections, right?
Absolutely, yes, yes. We could talk.
With no proof.
Yes, it's very, very disturbing, all of it. But in this case, it's right at the front there. It's East meets West. It's what the Cold War used to be. But right now, it's in Mariupol, where they're from, is really Eastern Ukraine and Russia, where they're sort of they're in conflict.
Yeah.
Some people are aligning themselves with Russia. We call those Russian separatists. But they're the same people. It's the same old shit. You got the same people, differing sort of ideology or politics or forces, and so you have this another circumstance of conflict, which is just once it starts, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, indiscriminate rocket attacks. That means you don't aim; you just throw them out.
Throw them out.
Wherever
Hit
they
where you're gonna hit.
that's where they hit. If it's
Just
a
hit the
shopping
majority
mall,
that you
it's
can
a
hit.
shopping mall. So,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quantity, not quality.
yeah, it's
That's what it is, right?
yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
And,
wow.
So my mother and father-in-law are great, kind, gentle people,
Mhm.
and so that's where that song sort of came out.
All right, let's play that. Let's
do it.
dedicate these to these guys.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Again, the name of the album is
Muscle and Blood,
We'll show it, and we'll play the track. Here we go on the Dave Darren Show.
featuring Pat Travers.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Okay, it's Pat Travers. We're going to talk a little bit about first guitars. The very first electric guitar I ever saw was my Uncle Hank's. He had a 1954 gold top Les Paul, and he brought that to our house, I think, in 1959 or 1960. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And, I had a little amp and everything, and I was just, mesmerized by this thing.
Death and destruction, so hard to stop us
We're still rapping here with Billy Stokes, who's in Phoenix, Arizona. You played in Alice Cooperstown a couple months ago. Was it a month ago or what?
We did. It was a couple months ago. Well, actually, it was November, wasn't it? It was last November.
Yeah.
So,
what was that all about? CD release, or what was that?
That was CD release, and it was all pretty much done on the fly as far as deciding on how and where to do a CD release. And it was a little convoluted in that we didn't have the luxury of flying the singer Mark Strachey back over here from Switzerland, and he was involved with his band Crocus. Anyway, so what we did is we hired we brought in, I don't want to say hired because he's just a wonderful guy. He's my brother now. Brett Kaiser from the band Madam X. He's also in a local band called 56, and great singer. So we put a band together to include Rudy Sarzo, bass player. What can you say about that? One of rock and roll's most respected bass players.
Sure.
Rudy Sarzo, Ozzy, Whitesnake, just Carmine Appice came in to play drums for the release, and he's another iconic musician that has a long history. Vanilla Fudge, Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart, Ozzy, and Cactus. So he came in to play drums, and we put the band together. It was a wonderful thing because there wasn't any real rehearsal. This was handing the music out to everybody and sort of putting it together and presenting it.
Yeah. Does Carmine still stand up when he plays drums?
Carmine is...
I remember that. The effect of seeing a stand-up drummer was something you don't see back in the...
Yeah, he will do that, but the thing about Carmine is you've heard the name a bunch, but the reason you've heard the name is because the talent is so far up front.
Uh-huh.
So I got to know the guy, and he spent a lot of time showing me some of his new music, his new production, his new work, and hours of listening, and I was really struck by how passionate the guy is, how much of the real deal he is about the craft, music.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're talking about Carmine Appice. It's another circumstance of the talent being the component in which these people become known and or successful.
How does that talent, you have all these people that are really well known, all with their drive, their energy, their love of what they've done in the past and bringing it forward. How does that work? Because you would think that sometimes the energy to pull a song in one direction based upon someone who's known the formula that works, and now everyone there all knows a formula that works because they've all been successful. That could add energy, but it can also add some stresses, right?
It could easily detract from a good performance.
How does it work out?
What I've learned with the true professionals is what they have learned is the importance of not resisting, certain things. In other words, they know that it's far more important to work together, as a team. What you discover on the way, playing with other musicians, that as musicians get good and get better, that's where you'll see problems arise with difficulty and being on this proverbial same sheet of music.
Yeah.
But at some point, these pros transcend that. And in this case, they just kind of deferred to me, and which was great, and let the music be what it is, and sort of contributed to it as such.
Yeah. Do you have to be in a certain frame of mind to write a song, like you personally? Do you have to be in a frame of mind of right now at peace? Do you have to be in a frame of mind that some strong emotion is attracting you to write a song? Do you write better with an attitude that is very vibrant, very happy, or do you write better when you're in a black mood?
Good question. So you're talking about, emotions, which is very much the language of music, hopefully. Emotion is a different language. You can speak in words, you can speak in music. I think music is a truer avenue for expression. But in my case, the more lucid I am, the better. The more clutter-free my brain is. In other words, when I get into songwriting mode, it's a dream state. And if I can keep that dream state going throughout the day, if I'm working on a song and I can keep, the dream going, the day is just kind of the distraction, reality, if you will. So I think songs are probably best discovered and written when people are lucid and they're sort of, they're sort of, it's a whisper.
Okay.
Like the best songs you ever heard start out a whisper in someone's brain. So think Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. It doesn't sound like a whisper when you hear it, but it started out in his head somewhere, and ultimately he got it through these things called Marshall amplifiers. And so creativity, channeling it.
Yeah. What should we
is
play
a
next?
challenge.
What do you think? We're trying to load the show up here with a lot of music. We have a lot of music here. Should we do something here? Do you want to do something completely different? It's up to you.
Let's go ahead and do something. How about let's do Mojo Filter,
Okay, Mojo Filter.
which
Sounds
was
like a
the
good one.
first song I wrote for the album.
Okay,
Mojo Filter.
here we go.
I got my mojo working.
Grüß was meinst du denn, Claro? Alles klar, du bist ein Lückenbeutel, Schatzi.
Slinging the slap. I get so tired of working, ringing the mouth. Oh God, my heart is hurting, shining your shoes. It's on my tongue, you're taking, giving too much to lose.
Okay, we're back here with Billy Stokes on the Dave Darren Show. We just played some tremendous music. I think we played our fourth piece so far. Tell me about the music that you write. When you have something come into your head quickly and you put it out there quickly, is that typically the best songs that you write? Are the ones that are quick, or are they ones that are laborsome?
Probably the quick ones, but that doesn't mean they're not worked on laboriously. So an example of that would be this type of music we're talking about is kind of rock and roll guitar, hook or riff based music. You could name check bands like Aerosmith, like Walk This Way. So with me, if I'm sort of puttering around and I have a guitar and I'm playing and something catches my attention, what I need to do is capture that quickly. I need to record that hook right now, or it'll be gone in 5 minutes. So that's how I start to develop a song. So if I can capture a hook or a riff, I will look at that riff and start to decode what the sentiment is. You know, if a certain sound is happening, I'll ask the question, what is that sentiment? And from there you can start to develop the song out and pull it and craft it.
For you, does it work better to come up with the notes of the music before the lyrics? Or is it such a diverse thing that it doesn't really, whatever happens, happens?
For me, it's usually, it's all guitar based.
Oh, is it?
It's all
Okay.
written on the guitar.
Acoustic or electric?
Electric.
No, that's
Mostly.
interesting.
But it doesn't have to be an electric to write the song. It really is about what we talked about, the expression, the phrase. You know, it doesn't really, like, you can play that Aerosmith Walk This Way on an acoustic guitar. It still is what it is. It's the process of developing songs that yield the fine work that you know and love.
How's the music progressed throughout the years? You have the new compilation here, which we're showing again, and obviously you've written for a lot of years. Has the inspiration or has music that's currently out there influenced you? Because music now has changed a lot. It's become almost too commercial if you listen to pop music. And we're not talking about pop music at all here, but has anything changed from how music has progressed in this decade, 2017?
I will say that I think when the record companies were viable, alive and well, that my opinion is you tended to have maybe better music, better quality of music because of the sort of expectation that, a big recording contract with talented people, those people really would go to work and work hard, and probably there was some type of filter where music sort of had to rise to somebody's standard, some producer at Columbia Records or whatever. So you had a tendency to have these artists release bodies of work that were very focused and very cohesive, very intact. You can think of the albums, when albums were coming out. So the current landscape is both. You have a lot of accessibility for artists to actually record, and which is a good thing. It's a healthy thing for a lot of people. But I think we're saturated because of it, because of all the technology, all the avenues in which you can experience music. You can do it on your phone, anywhere and everywhere, which for a musician is great. But
it's saturated.
There's a saturation that has happened. Another tendency I see is music, because of computers, as there is some of it that seems to me to be kind of throwaway music. It's sort of an afterthought, and a lot of times it's really based on a repetitive groove or a hypnotic thing. So it's not music you remember the next day. You'll hear it and you'll bop your head to it, but you can't really remember it like you could probably remember the song Hotel California for years after you've heard it, once you've heard it a few times.
Right. Right.
It's very set in that respect.
Yeah.
So I think the computer sort of based accessibility to record and track music has created a different, it's really influenced a lot of things with making music.
Yeah. What do you think about this? I talked about this today on Facebook. Thinking about classic rock, back in the days when classic rock, it's on the radio now, of course, because you have all the classic rock stations. But Napster was involved earlier on, before all the SoundCloud and the Reverb Nation. Napster, you had the fans of mainstream music basically pirating what they purchased, sharing it, and stealing the music. Now it's almost like the bands themselves are letting their music be stolen because they're putting it in this saturation, which we talked about, on SoundCloud and Reverb Nation. So anyone that wants today's music, when they find it on SoundCloud or Reverb Nation, they're basically getting it for free and stealing it and sharing it. So how can music as a business in 2017 bring that dynamics of being able to survive being a musician happen again?
You just asked the most important question that all musicians, artists, famous or otherwise, are asking and thinking about. Certainly the people that are doing it as a career. It's too late to put that genie back in the bottle, the MP3 or whatever, or the ability to throw music through the little wire to other people, you understand? So the time for that would have been years back, if there would have been, some laws or rules or checks and balances put in place to ensure that the artist had control over their, well, if you want to call it product.
It is
really what you're talking about.
It is what it is, it's a product.
So it's a really troubling thing, and what it did to the musicians, to some of the guys we've talked about, and it really put them in a very bad position as far as sustaining what they do and what we know and love as listeners. So it's I can't stop thinking about what you just said. And where I stand, and I'm lucky. I have a retirement because I was injured in the Army. So, when the whole Napster thing came out, at first impulse I was like, "Yay! It's all cool. Let's love one another and share music. And here, nobody has to pay for anything anymore. It's all free now." It wasn't until a little bit later I realized, oh hell, that's going to make everything suffer, which it has.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what we're talking about is the quality of the music. Prior to that, like I said, people really worked hard on it, and they got sometimes well paid. But so the good news is the proof is in the pudding. Nowadays, going out and presenting your work is really the end game, because I don't care how well you can run a program on a laptop to create musical arrangements and stuff. Unless you can really, play it and present it in real time as a real circumstance, it's all BS. I mean, you do see these big parties with the laptop and the guy, these raves, but that's got a shelf life. So people still want to see and hear and experience good live music in real time in front of them.
Yeah. How do we get today's young people to really absorb rock music again? This is what I think. I think the radio personalities and the radio stations, they're manipulating what everyone hears. They're bombarding you. They're kind of brainwashing you. If they took a risk and played some of today's rock music, I really think it would catch on. But no one is willing to take that shot.
Well, that's true. You are. There are people. I got to tell you, there is some movement towards this, and really, what you're talking about is programming. When you program music, it really is what it sounds like, programming. If a person has only heard this type of music and they like it, they like their life, they like the music they're hearing, if that's all they've heard, then that's all they've heard. And if the people giving it to them decided that's what they're going to hear, and that really what you're talking about is who's in charge of programming, who's in charge of disseminating the art form, the music, etc. So again, the good news is, the grassroots sort of movement going back to wanting to hear good music is starting. You're seeing young people gravitating towards their parents' record collection or music, and it's because you can't fake it. People respond to the real deal. And it took 20 years of bullshit to see this start to come back to artisanship being at the core of this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Artisanship, crafting this wonderful thing that human beings seem to be able to create, music. So I have high hopes that that the people, despite the corporate influences which end up programming music and handing it out to people based upon what they think is good.
Yeah, they've got to give the listener a little more credit, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really believe that. Give the listener more credit, give them more variety, and terrestrial radio is suffering at the moment. There's a chance to bring some of it back, I think, if they just experiment and trust people's taste and trust their variance of liking different things.
Let's
play another piece of music.
Let's do it.
What do we do? You get to pick it again.
Let's go ahead and let's play something. Let's go ahead and play Runaway.
Runaway, cool.
Okay.
Okay, here we go on the Dave Darren Show. Let's show the CD. Pick this up on iTunes. Where else was it? CD Baby?
CD Baby, Amazon, BillyStokes.com.
Cool. And here we go. This is Runaway.
Never far away, I'm gonna find you. You cook with gas when you have your fun. Shake that ass, I come undone. Your pirate smile for all to see. You start a fire that's burning me. Then you run away and leave the dust behind you. I'm never far away, I'm gonna find you.
welcome back to the Dave Darren Show. Billy Stokes. Here's the CD. Get it on CD Baby. Get it on iTunes. Make sure you get it. Let me uncover my finger so you see the title. Okay. Billy, we're talking about music. We're talking about your music compilation here with all these tremendous artists. What, if you think about some of the collaborations you've had in the past, was there anything that you miss not having done? Can you think of something where you said, man, I wish I was collaborating with this person, I had a chance to? Can you think of anything that you wish you did?
Well, looking back, it always for me goes back to wanting to actually accomplish, something that would be, I spent hundreds of hours playing guitar and jamming, and that's a fantastic sort of thing to do in hobby, but actually creating songs and writing songs and getting it done is something that I felt, that I wish I would have done more of, probably starting in the late 70s. Back in the late 70s, we had the reel-to-reels and 4 tracks, and we would do recording, and my friends and myself, I think we all sensed that that's the road to travel.
Yeah.
Is pursue your creativity, and move away from just copying other people's work, which that's the blast too. But it's not yours; it's other people's.
Sure.
So, so just wish I would have done more recording. I wish that life didn't get in the way as much as it did with my interest in music. And but hey, doing it now.
Yeah, what's coming up? Obviously, you've got the CD here. You did a CD release party here at Cooperstown, which is where we're doing the interview today in Phoenix. There's a Cooperstown in New York too, right?
Baseball, sports.
Oh, it's a sports thing there. Okay, Cooperstown here though is the event, the Big Alice Cooper event. Very cool. I love it. And by the way, we're doing this show today. It's shout it out.
Dune. What,
Yeah, Dune. Dune. But what the name of your gig is?
Oh, independent events.
Independent events here. We're talking here with Dune. We're in his little lair here. It's very cool down here. A lot of Alice Cooper stuff hanging around here. Good backdrop to the thing here. Dune had a big career too, right?
Yeah. And then
Come on, speak up. You had a big career. I think you had a big career.
He's been around.
I'm not of opinion.
From the East Coast.
Yardbirds.
Yardbirds.
Black Oak Arkansas, Blues Image,
Little Hendrix,
Iron Butterfly.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin.
A dear friend. I have stories about that.
Now, we don't see him now, but we're going to do a future show. We're going to interview this gentleman right here. He's got a big history. We're going to have him in here. Maybe in a week. I think I'm going to come back here in a week.
Because I'm an old guy.
Yeah, an old guy. So am I.
But I'm still cute.
See, he's got that going for him. An old guy that's fucking messed up looking, right? So we're back here talking to Billy. Billy, let me know this. What's coming up with the CD? Multiple gigs coming up, or are they going to be happening in Phoenix? Are they going to be touring gigs?
That is the intent, and that's where my brother Dune and I are putting our heads together to put the band in shape, put it together. And when I say the band, using session players that are committed, like Mark Strachey from Crocus. He's got commitments. He just had, did a gold record. Just this latest release went gold. They're very busy. So what happened to me is, I realized, well, you did this album with session players, hired guns, beautiful people. Now you got to put a band together. So in comes Brett Kaiser from the band Madam X. He's up here in Phoenix. He's in close proximity to me. He's a fantastic human being, and he's a fantastic singer. And I spoke with him last night. Really excited about working with Brett Kaiser. I keep I compare him to people like Graham Bonnet, when you heard those Rainbow and Schenker albums. I want to put Brett Kaiser in the context I believe that he would really shine, which is, as far as I'm concerned, heavy rock music, hard rock and guitar-driven music. So that's what we want to do, is put this band together. High hopes of getting it all together would be Rudy Sarzo, playing bass, and I've spoken a lot with him, and he's on board. So Brett Kaiser, Rudy Sarzo, myself. The guy that was up here at the release, he's a keyboard player, Richard Katz, has indicated to me that he's very excited about this, this band we want to put together. So that's, in a nutshell, what we want to do, is put this band together based on this material from the album, use a focal point, and present it as such.
And there'll be more music coming out, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely.
It won't stop your creativity at any
No,
point,
it's just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg. What we want to do is do exactly what we talked about: is bring good quality, honest, expressive music to the people, and hopefully present compelling songs that people can identify with, and basically get back to what it's supposed to be, which is
Absolutely.
an interaction between people. Your artisanship. You share it. You give it to the audience, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
one
that's
thing
it. We're
about
going to put a band together and of top flight musicians and put it out there.
Yeah. It's interesting. Music is so important to people's lives. In fact, you turn on the TV, every commercial has a piece of music behind it. There's so much separation now between peoples. And music, even if you don't understand the words, the notes and the vocal tones in the voice create an emotion that brings people together.
Absolutely.
So why are we not digging the music to the extreme level that we need to make it? I don't understand why people aren't really digging a variety of genres of music just because the togetherness it brings.
I can tell you, I lived in Germany many years, like 13 years. So I have, the luxury of, living in another country and having a different perspective about things. Coming back stateside here, well, one thing I recognize is how busy people are in this market-driven economy we all live in. You really are busy, and we snatch up music where we can. I think really the challenge for people involved in this industry is to get the music out to the people, and in this case, promote the music, and through radio, TV, any means you can, really the computer. But to answer your question, people respond absolutely to certain things, and if the music is honest, first of all, they got to hear it to decide to make that determination.
Right, of course.
So you hear a Jimmy Page song like 10 Years Gone or something, and I don't care where you live on the globe, it's compelling. There's something honest in there. There's something that pulls you and leads you. And I think one thing that happened is the saturation in what I call throwaway music. It became just that. Music stops being the deep art form that it's supposed to be. It becomes something that is sort of
Mechanical.
an afterthought. So
Mechanical and cookie cutter.
and some people
almost.
and they don't even play full songs. So you see the younger generation, you'll get 10 seconds of one song and click to another.
A bad quality audio. It's in a cell phone.
It's like they're not even invested to the degree where they're willing to hear a whole freaking song.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's an old prayer in the Bible that goes, "Slow me down, Lord, slow me down." And really, that's what I think society needs, is a circumstance where they can slow down a little bit and let the music in.
Yeah.
And if it's good music, it will do the rest.
Yeah.
Let's roll!
lived in Japan for a while,
Wow.
for like 4 years.
Awesome.
And when I was living there, I went to buy some CDs from the local Japanese bands. Didn't understand the language, but the music, if it was real music and if it was true to the artist, and if it had a good quality of sound recording, I didn't understand the words, but I was connected to the music. And I loved it. I still have the tracks with me now.
Well, you could be a songwriter then, right? I mean, a criteria on some level for me for music is, I mean, physically, how does it sound? I mean, it's a good question. If you didn't understand the language, you know, if something sounds good in a different language, I mean, that's check that box. Good.
Right.
You know, that's
right.
a sort of a physical component of music. So it's interesting you say that because you've got people from different countries singing word for word some of these songs in English. They don't know what they're saying, but they're singing along with it, you know, and so a lot of it is just visceral, you know, how sound makes you feel.
Right,
You know,
right.
Does it make you rock? Does it make you,
Yeah.
does it move you?
There's one song
You know?
that's done by Ray Charles, which is a Japanese song called Ellie My Love. Most people don't know that song, but he sang the song. It was by a group in Japan called Southern All Stars, shockingly enough. They even had an English name. And they wrote the song, and there's Ray Charles doing it. It was very popular here for a while, back I think in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, whatever it was. So, Billy, how do people engage with you? Find out where your tour is going to be, when it's going to happen, how to connect with this music, previous music that you've had out there. How do they all engage with you for that?
Computerland, BillyStokes.com is the first obvious spot you could go. Independent events, you could go on the Cooperstown website, and anything we do in or through Cooperstown, it's going to be in association with Independent Events, which is Dune here. And we're going to put these shows together, and we're going to put the dates on the respective websites.
That's tremendous.
As we get them.
I'm going to come out here and see those gigs.
Yeah.
Dude will invite me. You'll invite me, Bill.
Oh, you're gonna, yeah. I want you on stage, man.
Oh, that'd be cool. You know, I'm trying to make that happen.
What do you play, man?
I play the guitar.
Well, I should have known.
Yeah, should have known, right?
Should have known.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know, one more thing I want to say is, hey, the first people that call in get the first 5 people to call in get a free shirt. Hey,
Oh, look at this merch
and a CD. We got to go down the merch highway. Not to block you out too much, but there you have it. It's just actually just the cover of the album. Billy Stokes, Muscle and Blood, right there.
There we go.
And so the number that you're going to call is 602-488-9105. I'm going to hold that up there in the screen. So the first people to call, 5 people to call in, get yourself a free CD and a free shirt. Just tell us your size. Again, the number right here is 602-488-9105. And that is from my brother Dune at Independent Events.
These look good on women too, right?
They do. They're
Now-
particularly good on women, especially if it's the only thing they're wearing. That helps.
You're right. And also, if it's a woman and she's given her size, please give out a size smaller than you actually are.
True.
Okay?
Okay. Very true. Very true.
And we'll pre-wet it for them too before we
Right.
ship it,
Yeah,
right?
everything
Keep it
about-
moist. Keep it moist. Keep it small. That's why I married a Japanese. She kept the vagina small and moist.
Okay.
I've got pictures on the internet of that. It's for
Okay.
sale for. She's online for $4.99 a minute with her sex phone line.
All right.
Okay. Billy, it was tremendous talking to you. Thanks so much for being on the show, man. I love it. And
you.
BillyStokes.com to pick up the CD. We'll flash it one more time.
Amazon, iTunes, Billy
And-
Stokes, Muscle and Blood.
Make sure you hook up with the event here, Cooperstown. Name of it is. Give me the. IE stands for
Independent Events.
Independent Events. I knew what that stood for, but I just wanted to hear it shouted out instead of by me, by someone else. Independent Events.
Independent Events.
Very cool.
Oh, and I got my finger covering the number. There we go. How's that, ladies and gentlemen?
Give us a call and get the shirt and call up Dave Darren Show. Come on the show too, by the way.
Get me on Facebook, anybody? Feel free to do that as well. and I'm willing to talk to any of you. Thank you.
Very cool, Billy. Thanks again, man.
All right.
One more handshake, one hug.
There you go, bro hug.
Yep, there we go. And that's it. We're done.
All right.
Great interview. Thanks, guys.
You've only just begun.
All right.
Oh, yeah, let's end the show with a song.
Let's end the show.
We never
with a
end with
song.
my horrible voice.
Let's-
What do we do next?
You know what we
As a
should?
closer.
You know what we really should do is name check Crystal Stark. She was like the American Idol runner-up. She sings.
Oh, wow.
This is the only cover. Twice removed from yesterday. We should name check her.
Okay, and let's end the show with
This
that.
is a
Trey.
Robin Trower cover tune, Twice removed from yesterday. You could say, hey, was there any covers on there?
Yeah.
I could say there was one. And
There we go. We'll end the show with that.
okay. This song is the only cover song on the album. It's called Twice Removed from Yesterday. It's a Robin Trower song, and we altered it in that we had a female voice in place of Robin Trower's spoken word that's at the beginning of the song. So we put a fantastic singer, Crystal Stark, in the place of where Robin Trower had spoken, and she sings freeform throughout the song. So I can't say enough about her. Crystal Stark, beautiful woman, beautiful singer, and I hope you enjoy this one cover song, Twice Removed from Yesterday. Let's do it.
Awesome. Man, thanks. And we're going to end the show right now.
Yeah.